Welcome to the Qremesher-guides here. So if we go up to the Z plugin, then we got the Qremesher-guides here, and I'm going to be explaining a little bit more about it later in the video here. So I'll be pausing the video. This is kind of a little intro here. This is the Z plugin, and if you want to download the plugin, it will be below the video, and you can go ahead and download it and try it. And let's get started. Hello, this is Easy, and welcome to the Qremesher guides. What you'll need to load in the Z plugin folder is the Qremesher Edit 1 ZBP, and you also need the Qremesher guide ZSC. And if you like this script, please make a donation by buying something from my website. You can see items low as $2. This is kind of optional. Here's a link. That way, if when you're making a donation and you're getting something in return, and this is helping me out. But anyway, let's get started with this. What you'll need to do, if it does not work for you, you might want to check your auto update. I'm using ZBrush 4 version 2 here, so it's ZBrush 4-R2. So make sure you got that version there, and let's get started. What we're going to do is I'm going to be demonstrating on a plane, because it's going to be a lot quicker. And we're going to make this polymesh 3D, and we're going to drag this out. And we'll go ahead and we're just going to go ahead and frame that up a little bit. Let's go back a little bit here. Then we're going to go to the Z plugin and the Qremesher guides, and we're going to select this. It says select the tutorial view window. It'll pop down here in a second. So all your buttons will be down here. So we'll be selecting that. A couple things happen. It actually the guides are on, and here's that other file that it loaded that's in the Z plugin. This is the edit brush here. Also adjusted your lazy mouse for this to work. And the first thing that we want to do is we want to go ahead and remesh this here, or key remesh this. So we're going to go to the geometry here and choose what you know, how much geometry you want. For this instance, I'm just going to leave it alone, same here, and we're going to key remesh this. Alright, now since this plane is pretty all squared up, that's how the Qremesher does. It tries making even squares, so you're probably not going to see a whole lot of changes yet. The first thing that we want to do, very important, is to press save. Alright, this is going to save this Qremesher here. We can load it later. So now I'm ready to draw out a curve. So if I draw a curve like this, and I use the old way by coming over here and Qremeshing it, you can see my guide is no longer visible. Now if you want to bring that guide back, we would check guide. Then sometimes you got to move your cursor up here, then it'll pop back up and you can see what's going on here. Alright, then we got this, you know, instead of coming over here all the time, because it's going to hide the guide, we got this one here to keep guides. So if we press this again, let's go ahead and crank this up here. And we're going to press this again. You can see actually it'll help some of the outside geometry if it could be a little bit messed up. So let me just show you a little example. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm just going to click here. It's going to remove it. I'm just going to remesh this. It's all going to come back the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple things here and really put some stress on this thing here. So we're going to put some stiffness up here so it follows the guide, and we're going to do some kind of something you normally wouldn't do. We're going to put it to the test here, and we're going to press the keep guides here. Alright, looks pretty good. Sometimes you might have some geometry up around here that might be a little messed up, and if you press this again, this will help, you know, fix it. So we'll press this again, see what happens, and you can see it's making it a whole lot better. Sometimes your polygons out here might be all kind of twisted up a little bit or something, and you press this twice or sometimes 3 times, it will really help improve it. Alright, because the guide's still up there and it's trying to do it back over the guide. Very important, if you keep on using this keep guides here, it could cause a problem. Sometimes it does and sometimes it don't. Normally you'd use this maybe 2 to 3 times. I want to press it again, and let's crank this all the way up to 100, and I'll press it again. Yeah, we'll do it one more time. And you can see I got this little hole here, and that's no problem. We got the fix it button, so if I press fix it here, and give it a second, what's happening, it's loading that mesh back in, and it's going to Qremesh it again, the original one. It says it's done. It's not bad. We can go ahead and click it one more time to see if it'll improve any of the polygons on the, I'm looking on away from the guides lines, so see how things work, and you can kind of see how that works. So typically be careful using this a bunch of times, but we got the fix it one here, so that's not a problem. We're going to click, and we're just going to Qremesh this run again. So I'm going to go in the next step. I'm going to draw out a couple guides here. Well, when we are in the brush here for the guides, we can't actually pull in the middle. We can just add to it. So if I pull here, and it's just going to add to it, and I can add to the end. And sometimes that's I might want to move this guide. Okay, this is when you press this edit curve. When you press this edit curve, it's going to cycle between these brushes. So look up in the left hand corner. I'm going to select here. You can see it switched to the another brush here called Qremesher Edit. Select it again. You can tell when the colors of the guides change. So we'll select it again. Sometimes you got to move your cursor up there to see changes. So we want to go into Edit here, and we can actually move the guides around. Alright, now if you want to switch back to the Edit here, we can add to it. And we can also subtract from it. If we select here and hold the Alt key and drag up a little bit, we can delete the whole thing. Control Z that. Let's start at this end here. We're going to click, then drag a little bit, then hold the Alt key. That's going to remove some of it. Click, drag just a little bit, hold the Alt key, and it's going to remove some of it. Now if I wanted to start down here, instead of dragging all the way down here, and I want to start deleting from here, I'll click, hold the Alt key, and it's going to remove it from there. If I want to remove this whole line here, I just click here from that end. Another thing that we can do is if we, let me go ahead and clear this out here. We can use the insert, any kind of some inserts right here. Let's do this one here and use the cylinder. So we're going to select here, and we're going to drag out. Now we want to switch the brush. We don't need to come up here and click that. We can click here. Even though that it's an edit that you edit, you can still drag out a line here or curve, and you can pull this curve around now. Now if I want to add to that curve, I would go ahead and switch to a back here to the Q guides here, and then we can add it and add to it as much as we want. We'll switch back to edit, then we can pull on it. I'm going to switch back. I'm going to click to remove that, and this time I'm just going to click and hold the shift key. We get like that. Something, let me do that a little bit better. Then when we reach this stage here, what we want to do is once we do one insert, we're going to delete the insert here. So we're going to delete it, and we'll need to move our cursor up here, and this guide will come back up. Now if I want to remesh this here, I'm going to go ahead and I want to, well, it's pretty strong strength here, so let's leave it at 100, see what it does. So we're going to complete circle. We're going to remesh that right there. Then you can see the guide here, and we can click that edit curve. We want to move this guide or whatever. Control C that. And another thing that you can do is let me turn that back here. If I want, let's say I wanted to move that and still kind of keep the shape there, we can go to deformation, and let's offset this. Let's go this side here. I'm going to remember the number here. Let's say 74. And we're going to Qremesh this. Now let's go to remove this back one and put a new one here. And it also moved it back to the original position. So if you want to go back and do it again, you would need to offset that to where I had it at before, because it will center it back when you Qremesh this. So if we want to load and Qremesh this, let's unify this. This will center that back up, and this will load the original one, and it will remesh it. If there's any curves up here, it will load and remesh to that right there, or Qremesh. As you can see, we got some polygons here, and they're getting a little bunched up here, and this is where you might want to Qremesh it again just to see if it'll improve it. And it did a really good job. And if you come up here, you can actually click and drag the cycle through your history. Of course, if you want to come over here and you want to see what's going on, you can actually hold a hotkey like the mask, and I'll hide it. You can kind of see it and just kind of bring it back. Now I made a try insert brush, and it was a lot easier for me to come into the program and make these with these lines right here. And basically what I did, I made a try brush and basically extruded these out like for the mouth. And let me turn on this here. Make sure all your normals are facing out. Then I capped it off, and I'll show you that here in a second. Made one for the nose up here, and basically cap that off. And well, let's go ahead and close that up anyway, and I'll show you here. And that would be over here. I did a little bit more than this. I added some more geometry in the middle, but this is basically gonna make it the insert brush, and I'll show you here in a second. Now I made this one for the demo head. I paused the video, and you can see if I press the hotkey M, yeah, it's dark in here. Let me see here. There it goes. Then you can see I got the mouth. I made this for the demo head. You'll see this in the video, and you'll see me use this like I'll be using it like with this right here. Let's see the mouth, and drag it out. That way when I use one of the curve brushes, I will click here, click it again. That way when I got my shape, then I can just come over here, click and drag, let go. Then I use this with the insert type. And I get my shape really easy. So I'm going to select here and bring my cursor up here. Then you can see I got my shape right here. Of course, if I wanted to edit and move that shape, and do whatever I want. Alright, in this next step here, I'm going to kind of speed things up a little bit. And I'm just going to kind of narrate this as I go along, because I'm going to be playing some movies. We'll play this one here. Now it's going to go kind of fast, so I might be able to not keep up with it explaining full detail, but just keep an eye on what's going on here. That was triangulated, and I Qremeshed it and saved it. Drawing out a guide there, simple. And drawing out a few guides here. You can see I switched over to the edit brush. Now I'm moving it up in the left hand corner. Using the Alt key to remove some of that right there. Alright, now here's a real hard spot. When you pull the shift key and try to get around the armpit, that gets pretty tricky. And that's with the Q guide there with the shift key. So I'm going to show you the next step, a good way to do that. So yeah, it's off an angle, I didn't like it. So I'm just going to draw me a straight line here. I'm going to edit the curve, start pulling it around the armpit. It's not long enough, so I'm going to be start here in a little bit, adding to it with that brush up here. I'm going to be adding to it. Till I complete around there. Sometimes when you pull on it, if it's kind of a little bit jagged, it'll straighten it back out, which is pretty nice. And sometimes there's where I'm going with the insert here. Alright, and then you can see I delete the hidden, and I'm moving the curve around. Just moved it and remeshed it again. So that's into that movie, and I'm going to go into the next one. Okay, we're going to go ahead and play this next movie here, so let's play this one here. Alright, here's a demo head, freezed it, you know, had a lot of subdivision levels. Now, I'm doing it, and things might not be perfect. I'm just doing this for demonstration. That way it'll just kind of speed up the video. I mean, some stuff's going to have a little bit of flaw in it. This is something you got to experiment. You can see I did the outline around the eyes, and I noticed at the same time when I did the unfreeze, and there's the mesh with the new topology. Well, the video quit. So I'm going to load up the next video. And we'll play this one here. Now this hoodie made from a marvelous designer team. They made that. Doing the insert brush here. This way I can get a nice round circle shape here. Got my, see I only did one side and had the X symmetry on. You can see it's pretty good there. I'm going through the subdivision levels. I think I projected that one on the other one. I believe I'm pretty sure I did that one to project all, to project the detail. Play this movie here and play. There's the demo head. There's the insert nose I was showing you about. I did it in another program. It's not perfect. I ain't got everything lined up. It's just, you get the idea that I made that nose shape in another program pretty easy. I want to get the outline shape real easy. And here I'm going to be using the Qremesher guide. And then I'm going to hold the shift key down and drag across there. And this way it's going to give me a shape. Delete the hidden. Now I got my outline shape. I'm doing the mouth here. And you can see I made that new brush that for the insert. It had the mouth, the eyes, and the nose in it. That way I can have the shape that I want to use. And just key remesh that. I projected this one. Not perfect, but this is kind of, I didn't want to sit there and keep on editing videos because I just want to make this quick. Just a quick recap here. Once you have, let's say, the ring here, you want to make it a Polymesh 3D or import your OBJ. And once you do that, you do want to make sure that you Qremesh it one time before you even get started. It's highly recommended. Choose your settings, whatever you want. Then you Qremesh it. Then we'll wait a second here. Then when it's finished, you come over here and press save. And once you do that, you're ready to go to start editing it. And I think this is gonna wrap this part up, but let's go ahead and let me just do one quick little thing here. Bring that down here. Curve, put the curve again, and hold the shift key, and we're going to go ahead and delete the hidden, bring your cursor up, then it's ready to go. Then your next step, you would Qremesh this. Then you get something like this, and basically what this little stiffness slider does is the more you increase it, the more the edge flow will try following the curve that you got here. The less you have it, the less it'll try following it. And like I said, very important to be careful how many times you press this Qremesher keep guides. So we'll finish it up. And then you get something like that. You might do it about 3 times, probably about the max. Typically when I'm trying to do a guide, there's no given settings to do them, but basically instead of just cramming it all the way up to 100, I like to maybe do it at maybe 50 and do the Qremesh keep guides. Then when I'm done with that, I'll crank it up to 100. All in your preference of how you like to do it.